Hello and welcome to another episode of Silver and Steel. I think I speak for all of us when I say we have missed you and we have missed playing this game. So excited to roll into the new year and our last 4 episodes with you all. Yeah, we are your Tuesday night crew here to wash away your quarantine blues. I'm already rhyming right out of the gate. With some
#bars.
high octane Dungeons and Dragons gameplay. Let's go around and introduce our wonderful players as well as who they play. Hope, take it away.
Hi, I'm Hope LaVelle, and I'm playing Penelope Halfpint, your friendly druid circle of the moon.
Todd.
I am Todd Kenreck. I play Avren, your warlock / wizard now.
Oh,
Yeah, I dipped into wizard. Come at me.
the multi-class.
A
All the cool
multi-class
kids
begins.
multi-class thing. I'm just saying.
Like daughter, like father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Why stop there? Yeah.
You're a wizard, Avren. I had to do it.
Avren.
I had to.
Can we start
I
calling
had
him
to do
Avy?
it.
I think we start calling him Avy.
We can make him start living under the stairs, though.
Oh, don't worry. He wish he had stairs. You had stairs growing up, freely?
Not many stairs in like halfling hovels, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm playing Orkira Hildrex, your Dragonborn cleric, who did not multi-class and has no way of transitioning away from what just happened.
Jen.
Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. I'm playing your friendly neighborhood cleric wizard, knowledge cleric, diviner wizard, and daughter to Avren, who apparently it's rubbed off on him. So we'll see what happens there.
You're also a wizard. I'm just gonna say that to people all day now.
Wait, does that mean Avren like made a pact with Alyndra? Can Alyndra
No.
give wizard pacts? Is this a thing
You have to give him
now?
lessons? Yeah, like you give him
That's-
wizard homework?
Yeah.
No.
Avren
You're
shows up with a
wizard,
book.
Allie. I don't know if Allie really works for that. I can't imagine.
Look under
calling
your
her
What does
seat.
Avren's
Allie.
spell book look like?
Oh, it looks like his Book of Shadows. It's probably got like tar dripping off of it and like circled with teeth.
Okay, do not
felt-
take this the wrong way. For some reason, I imagined it was like a dirty napkin.
No, that's way better.
With like a coffee ring on it.
That's
It's
how
like,
it is in
It's
like
like, wait, I know how to do this.
Crawl.
I thought they would be like ripped pages, like they're incomplete because you just took them and then just like stuffed them in another book.
See,
Like,
now I completely pictured the pamphlets that he was handing out about the
Oh.
bake sale,
Oh my
except
God.
it's now talking about Avren as your patron for your, except it's his spell book.
That's so perfect. Because in Krull there is a wizard, and all his crap is written on these little loose pieces of paper. They're all torn up and wadded up like napkins, and it's just like he's a mess.
Mine is like the back of envelopes, which I won't show because they have my address on them, and my notes regularly look like that. I am so put together. People are like, "Oh, should like do a vlog and show us your DM prep," and I'm like, "No, you'll think I'm a hack."
bold of you to assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I realize we don't have a lot of time left, but I just imagine in my head canon like Avren and Freely like looking at Avren's spell book with a spell Freely knows, but as a sorcerer just does. So you're like, so this is the calculation that you have to weave into the matrix, and Freely's like, prestidigitation. Like, I don't just do it.
I want to know what it's like for Avren to have to do the work.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I
That's always
probably stole it from somebody, so don't worry.
The way I usually describe like to people who are new, like the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard is that a sorcerer is a native speaker of a language and a wizard is someone who's like learning. Because I get this, like, even if you've been in the environment a little bit, it's so hard to explain when you're a native speaker to another person what something means. I don't know why this is, because I'll be like, oh yeah, this. And they're like, okay, but what does that mean? And I'm like, or why do you put this word here? And I'm like,
You just do.
Because
Yeah.
the universe demands it.
Especially with
Yeah.
idioms.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's some thoughts you can't even think in other languages. That's the craziest thing.
yeah, but then I'll see like a teacher explain Punjabi to someone and they're able to do it. And I'm like, yeah, what she said. You were to ask me, I'm like,
Or there's German, in where if you want to make a thought, you just put like 3 billion words together into one big word, and it just becomes a whole series of thoughts in one big giant word. It's amazing.
As one does. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of masters of words about things, B. Dave.
Nice.
Hey, I spent my vacation acquiring cursed relics. So I has my hand in Eye of Vecna now.
Nice.
Ooh.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I found a replacement for Freely's metal hand. There you go. Done.
Nice.
You know?
I'm sure there will be no problems with that.
No consequences.
Slap
No.
the
And
hand
if
of
you
Vecna
ever
on there.
lose an eyeball,
No negative repercussions. None.
Mhm.
Freely, the lucky boy, now a swords bard, paladin, warlock, divine soul sorcerer. Here for all your halfling heroing needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a really
Oh, I'm
dope
sorry.
shield. And also, Jasmine made me a really great shield. And I kind of got emotional when she sent it to me because I was like, nobody's ever made me a relic before. And it's really neat. That's all I have to say.
It was
a little
really
mad
sweet.
because I was like, don't make me tear up.
I really was like,
Horrible.
like,
that was the face.
no one's done that for me. Yeah, that's,
That was the
That's-
face. That was
Mhm.
perfect.
that happened. Thanks, Jasmine.
Of
Also-
course.
Now you got an excuse when everything attacks me. It's like, you got a shield, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a dope ass shield.
It is pretty cool.
You can handle it. Megan?
It's been a while since I've done an intro. I feel awkward and I don't know what to do with my hands. My name is Meagan Kenreck, and I am still an artificer who is into artillery. I'm level 7 now, so I have Flash of Genius. I don't make anyone smarter, but I do help their rolls. Yay!
Nice. Very nice. And as always, I am your DM, Jasmine, that bronze girl, Bhullar. And last time our heroes did a lot. They saved a turtle goddess at the bottom of the ocean who had been beset by buffoonery, is what I would like to call it. Yeah, basically a bunch of really salty dudes were upset that she wouldn't bestow her very powerful gift upon them, which our players found out was actually a level. So, I mean, the gift was probably worth, earning, but probably not worth tying her underwater and trying to drown her for. And that was pretty, yeah. A baby kraken was thoroughly thrashed and sent on its way. That was the whole thing.
Look, I didn't know it was a baby or friendly. I just knew it was
That's
cracking.
true. Yeah,
cracking.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let's get it
I mean,
cracking.
Penelope did
Let's get
try to
cracking.
reason with it.
Yeah,
and then
it's hard to
turned into
reason
mom.
with a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't tell Freely any of that. He saw
Yeah.
his friend get hit and it was gonna go down.
Yeah.
So,
hmm Yeah, it's one of those awkward spots where it's like I feel like Penelope's efforts were great, but it's really hard to reason with toddlers. They're at that like weird
Mhm.
age where they're like, no, so yeah.
That weird
Uh,
age where they're destroying a goddess, that really awkward time.
It's it's a rite of passage.
Mhm. They were able to save Ahavara, and she was able to surface. And when she did, they actually realized there was a beautiful volcanic island on her back. Many tropical drinks were consumed in the balmy sort of heat and humidity of the sort of sulfury, but in a good way, air. What else did y'all do? You were able to hook up Dave to the side of her shell, and she freely got a shield.
well, it's just because I hung out with her and I told her about her baby, and also Avren's apparently like a quasi cleric now. Like she there was boons all around.
And Penelope got another wild shape.
A
Mhm.
dire penguin.
Yes.
Yes, a dire penguin. It was a lot that happened. I'm trying to think. There was something else I wanted to touch on, but I forgot about it. That was the episode before. Never mind.
Well, yeah. Now we're on
With
the
Daisy's
way.
patron.
Mhm.
Literally once more into the breach to try and seal up an interdimensional passage and maybe
To
fight
seal
a
a
giant
breach.
lightning word. Yeah.
Yes. So this was, I guess that was the very piece of pertinent information that you all found was that there is an ancient barrier that kind of protects this island that you're on. Now you know it's a very large island. I think that you were told by Daisy's patron. It protects this island from basically being in an ocean full of Leviathan-esque giant worms is what they were described to you as.
Yep.
And what Havara told you is that, while Hank's people were warring with like the people from the land, one of them back in the day created some type of weaponry that punched a hole in this arcane net. And when it did, it basically created a breach. And Havara's theory is that it's not like, in the olden, in these books that Salome kind of went over and talked to you about, she was kind of under the impression that there was some type of every 10 years a reckoning. But from what Havara described to you, it's kind of just a random happenstance. Every once in a while, one of these giant creatures finds their way through this hole into these lush waters rife with wildlife and lots of feeding, and it ends up being not so great for the people that live here. So you decided to hitch a ride with Havara to go repair this net, and I think she recalled at some point that her dad told her that there's nothing that a little bit of spit and hard work can't fix. She has decided to try that literally, and we'll see how that goes. But before we get into it, we should hit the trailer, right?
One last thing. There's a non-zero chance we're all dead and this is the afterlife. As we were talking about this island, we're like, wait, but where are we? What? Yeah, so
Nah,
There is
Fine.
a definite purgatory type situation happening. The punished are being sent here to
Makes
atone.
total sense for Avren, but I feel like Freely and Penelope led fairly good lives. Orkira, come on, like she shouldn't be here. So
there's evidence to the contrary, but we'll have to figure that out after when we're back in the game.
Follow the raven's call as darkness begins to fall. To test your faith, it's time for the diamonds to break and choose whose side you will take. Give in to the powers revealed and come make us deal with your silver
Deal.
la.
I love you all.
Love you too.
We're consummate
Yeah.
professionals.
As we
Absolutely.
Totally.
come upon our adventurers, Havara says, "This is like the 7th time you've sang that song.
It's
It's
our
a good
favorite
song.
I mean, I liked it the first 4 times, but
It's our lucky
Well,
song. It's
You
like
know what happens when something gets stuck in your head and you can't get it
Yeah.
out and just keep going over it again.
Ugh,
and again.
that's the worst."
Yeah, it's like an earworm.
It's called Sarah Morpheus, but yeah.
No, that no metamorphosis, please.
Really?
We've seen it a couple of times, and
Yeah.
No.
Really, you're a bard. Can you just sing a different song?
oh yeah, okay, wait, hang on. Now this was my very favorite song growing up. This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. So, right, and then he would continue until forced to stop. The song
That
that
reminds
does-
me of this other
do I know
song,
silence?
The Never-Ending Story.
True. It's,
You hear Havara like kind of snort through her nostrils.
A giant turtle would be kind of upset at the never-ending story.
Mhm.
too
That's
soon.
not very catchy.
I feel judged.
I feel like these songs were made specifically to annoy people.
What? No. Now, 99 bottles of ale on the wall, that was designed specifically to annoy people.
Not that one, no.
Orkira, do you still have your letters?
Oh yeah, I do. And I'll reach into my bag and I'll pull out a wad of bound up letters that I got from Alyndra over the course of 5 years, and I will gently pull out a very specific one that's almost at the top and open it up, and a very pretty song will start to play magically out of the letter. It almost sounds like someone using a stone xylophone to play music. It's very,
Ooh,
it's kind of catchy and soothing, but there's no words to it. It's just music.
that's nice.
I like this one.
Oh yeah, hold on, I'll come closer and I'll move closer to her head so that she can hear it.
Mhm. Like she kind of like bops her head back and forth, and like she barely pushes off. She almost like glides on ocean currents. So your ride is very smooth, even though you're going around at a very, very fast pace. And as you like kind of come up near her face, like I guess you'd be on her like armored plate right here. So she's still kind of a little bit out in front of you, but you're like kind of near the back of her head. She says like, I'm getting a little nervous.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Everyone talks about how scary these giant worms are. Between you and me, I've never fought one before.
Well, it's okay. You have us.
Yeah, we never fought one either.
Okay.
Also, I think it's really normal to be nervous. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, what we're gonna do could be dangerous and scary, so I think that's
Also
normal.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I feel a little bit braver with you all, even though you're very, very small. And you see her kind of like turn her head and look back at you. And as you do, all you see is like one big eye.
I mean,
Like full of galaxies and the wisdom of the cosmos.
Sometimes
feel-
it's good to be nervous because when you're nervous, you get adrenaline and it has a purpose. It makes you more defensive of
And
your
more
little
aware.
friends.
Well,
What's
I mean,
adrenaline?
It's a secret potion that you make for yourself that makes you more brave.
Also a rogue I knew back in
Oh.
Waterdeep.
I always feel braver because they're around. So, you know, that works. And Penelope's smaller than me. I'm very, very tall for a halfling, you know. And she always comes through in a pinch. So, you know, don't let size fool you. There was a mighty warrior, a little green guy, lived in the land of Dagobah, that was like, don't judge me by my size or something like that. I kind of lost track. You talk weird, but you know, just trust me. We'll be able to handle this. Also, how are we going to handle this? Because apparently it's an aquatic lightning worm and we don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah. I guess we probably should come up with some kind of plan.
Well, aren't we trying to close the
Mm.
breach first? Or do we think that the big worm is by the breach? Are we gonna have to do both at the same time?
Oh boy.
Well, remember,
Knowing our luck.
Dave is wired to explode. So theoretically, if we could convince the lightning worm to swallow it, we can set it off, hopefully by remote. Salome was kind of vague on that, and I'd rather it not be a one-way trip, but we got that ace up our sleeve.
Well, and don't forget, I also have a cannon mounted to the vehicle.
Yeah. You drilled a hole in our submersible. We remember.
It's
Yeah.
it's a very secure hole. Don't worry.
Is Machete still inside, Dave, or did someone go get Machete?
Machete's still in there, I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
The
didn't
submersible is like kind of like on, like, I imagine it kind of like parked on her back a little bit.
I didn't say this, so you tell me if it's too meta, but I feel like if Freely thought we were going to get out and be safe, he would have brought her out. Like, the reason why she stayed in the submersible in the first place was not to be in the ocean. We're out of the ocean, he probably
Mhm.
would have brought her out.
Oh, okay,
She's-
yeah.
She's
So
my little homie.
So she's with Freely.
Okay.
And actually,
I think
Freely,
it's
if she's with you,
probably-
you would notice that she's actually kind of like more responsive now
Is she talking yet, or does she just seem to be moving more?
in broken sentences.
Oh, hey, you're coming back around. Cool. Look at my shield. Look at this. Isn't it all shiny? You can see yourself in it. Look at this. Like, all that.
You see her put her hand out
Mhm.
and like kind of look at the shield and look like confused. Like you see her like touch the shield and then touch her face and then touch the
Yeah.
shield again.
Yeah, that's what you look like. Like, look, you're like pretty. Like, you have like these cool like button eyes and all this. Like, I mean, we'll get your hands fixed because like the old you wanted like scissor hands. Like, we'll get that all worked out. But yeah. Don't you like that's you? See, it's you next to me, and I can't like, you know, like when you
Mhm.
try and get a baby to look in the mirror, you're like, that's us over there. Like, I realize
Yeah.
I'm here, but I'm also there. You know, like trying to
Mhm.
get her to look in the shield at the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah. She like touches her eye and then like, you know, when you mentioned the button eyes and then she like touches her body, and then she looks at you and she says, and almost like a voice that almost hasn't talked for a long time, like it feels like it's very croaky. She just says, "Cursed?"
No. Orkira took care of that. Like, hey, yeah. Orkira knocked that right out. This is your 100% curse free. I mean, I guess probably. She is 100% curse free, right? Like very much like earmuffs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then she looks at you again and she says, "Help."
Like me help you, or you want to help us?
And she like points at herself and then she says, "Trapped."
Okay. Are you like a little girl trapped in a doll body this entire time, and the owner we were looking for has been you?
And she looks like she kneels her head closer to yours, puts her like weird hands on either side of your face, and she just says again, "Trapped."
I legit just like under my arm message. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And like message Alyndra. Like, I think there's a little girl trapped inside the machete doll body.
What?
Yeah. But on the outside, I'm like, oh no, we're gonna work this out. No, you're good.
How? Why?
Everyone, it's cool. Also, Havara, you're a great and powerful goddess. Hey, wait a second. We got this doll from the place where your worshippers were all set up, so this might have something to do with you. She was cursed. We fixed the curse, and now she's saying that she's trapped in here. And I don't really know. It's not really my purview. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've liberated plenty of spirits, but it's usually kind of like final, if you know what I mean. So yeah. And I literally like,
May I cast detect magic to see if there's something that we've missed coming off of the doll?
Yeah, go ahead.
I cast detect magic.
Okay. So as you cast detect magic, it does like ping on your radar as like some type of arcana is still there. There's no curse anymore. It feels like whatever theft protection they had on this doll has been like since removed, and you don't feel like there is any sort of you don't feel like this is any kind of enchantment or like that there's something like this is a magical trickery or anything like that.
Does it seem like it's not a transmutation? It's not any sort of nothing like that.
No, not exactly.
Avren, you've trapped people in like terrible endless agony. Any ideas?
Well, I mean, you're all here with me. So let me think. What's the question actually? What were we talking about?
Somebody might be trapped in here. Like, we thought the doll was talking to us, but it might be someone in the doll.
I produce the curses. I don't undo the curses. That's like kind of Orkira's like hotspot, right?
Well,
Like,
Avren, I don't think it is a curse, and this is kind of not really in my wheelhouse because I'm a very I work in a lab, but this seems like there might be a spirit of a little girl stuck in this doll. Have you ever encountered anything like this before?
Yeah, but I was in a pickle once.
I mean, I was in a mind flayer. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
we
we both were those.
You both were those things, though. You weren't in them. You were them.
But wait. So
Right? Or were
are we
you-
sure she wasn't we don't think she got turned into a doll. We think maybe she's in the doll.
Orkira,
Yeah.
did you use a greater restoration to help the first time?
No, I just removed the curse that was causing her to be all murdery because I didn't think there was a spirit in there or
Oh.
an unwilling spirit. So
Hmm.
I used to be able to do greater restoration, but I can't. I can do a lesser one, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
Right. Okay.
Can anyone
Um,
identify? Maybe at least
I was
we
gonna
know.
say,
sorry.
We have the
Alyndra,
time.
since we're having this like conversation, give me a Arcana check.
Right. By the way, my portents today are 18 and 20.
I was gonna ask if that counts
Nice.
because we have.
We count it
it
when I
does?
use it because it counts as the die roll.
Oh, okay. Never mind, chat. You have to wait.
So it's a 27. It's a 27 on this roll. It's
Okay.
a 17 on the die.
Perfect. So, as you like or start detecting or identifying the object, and as you like have like that last reminisce of like detect magic kind of fluffing off of it or whatever. That's how I always imagine it, like a aura. Let's see. You feel like this is a spell that I guess with your Arcana check, you would know. This is a spell you've come across before. And this is a spell often used, it's from a school of necromancy, often used to bind souls to objects.
How would I divest that? Would that be a dispel magic situation?
You with the
Or is
27,
it-
you would know that if you dispel the magic, the only thing keeping the soul on this plane would you don't know what would happen to it, especially given the weird kind of wibbly wobbly timey-wimey space you're in.
And is the soul supposed to be on this plane, or is the soul supposed to be released? Is the other question.
You're not sure. This is like been, so to get a little meta here, this is like magic that's been perverted like 3 times over. Because it was like, now that you're holding it in your hand, you realize that whether by choice or whether as some sort of punishment, a soul at one point was bound and trapped inside this item. Then additional magics were cast upon it to prevent its removal from the fair. That sort of ink packet in the clothing was popped, thereby the effect creating like activating the sort of sentience, but also twisting it in some way. Then that curse was removed. And what you're left with now is best way to describe it is shaky magic.
I mean, I know that pretty well. It's the only kind I do,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like modified, demodified, and changed so many times that when on your initial detect magic, you couldn't even tell there was a soul in there. It's only after sitting and like spending time with it that you're like, oh my gosh. There's like, and initially when you cast detect magic on it, the only magic that came through that you detected was like the sort of protection magics that were cast upon this by the fair people.
So I wonder
Hey,
if
Alyndra,
it's yes.
do we think? So you said there's a soul in this body and it's asking for help. Do we think there's a way that we could try to assist whatever the soul is in talking? I mean, we could just wait. They seem to be.
I was going to suggest either we talk to it, or we get into its head and think about trying to have a conversation through memory.
I mean, can you guys do that? Because I can only do like the message thing. I can't like.
Well, I can. I don't love to do it, but yes. Remember how we untangled the memory that she had before? I can do something sort of different where I can step into someone's mind and untangle their thoughts.
I lift Machete up and I'm like, I mean, well, what do you think, Machete? Can Alyndra come in for a visit?
Would that be all right with you?
Mm-hmm. You see her kind of like get like worried or scared, but she kind of does nod.
Hey, I'll be right here. I'll hold both of your hands, not the sharp part. I'll hold the soft part. And I promise she won't hurt you. She's one of my very best friends. I would let her in my head, but like, she probably doesn't want to visit.
I think her sharp hand is actually now retractable, isn't it? I think
Oh.
wasn't. I want to say Sophia's crafted a retractable sword hand.
Oh, yeah. She's
Because she
the
kept
same as mine.
sticking you at the throat. Yeah, she kept
Right.
like, flashing you. So
Right.
All right, so then I will cast Detect Thoughts. So initially I'll get surface thoughts, and then I'll be able to dig deeper.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if she wants to choose to fail the saves on that, but
yeah.
that's one way to go about it.
All right. Sure. Let's see.
So I reach into her mind and
Ooh.
I start
Oh.
to see what she is thinking about and recalls.
Yeah. So her initial surface level thoughts are like confusion, not knowing exactly where she is. That seems to be the biggest thing on her mind. The second thing you feel kind of like on her surface level thoughts is like a sort of fear of being destroyed. And you kind of see her or hear her repeating snippets of conversations that you've had around her, especially when she was Machete, conversations about how she's an abomination and how she should be destroyed and how she should be, you know, like this is a cursed doll. So you feel this come off of her in like waves, a fear of being destroyed and a fear of being an abomination. And the third surface level thought you get is a confusion regarding, or I guess like a sadness regarding not knowing what she is. So the first feelings that come off of her are confusion, fear, and sadness.
Right. So first, I want to tell you that we are so sorry. We didn't know, and now we do. And we don't think that you're an abomination. We don't think you're wrong. We just didn't know what we were dealing with, and you kept trying to attack us, and we were frightened. So you
You say
have our
that out loud?
sincerest apologies. Yes.
I didn't ever think you were an abomination. I thought you were perfect the way you were.
And
Orkira hides behind Alyndra. And fails miserably at it because Orkira.
Alyndra does like a reach and pat.
Yeah, I'm way bigger than Alyndra and wider, but yeah, she like slinks.
Alyndra now has like dragon wings for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that spell did that. That's cool. Wow. Yeah.
These like galaxy eyes and gold dragon wings, you know?
There we go.
I didn't have gold on standby, but
That's fantastic. And as you say that, like, we didn't know, you feel like kind of, and you kind of penetrate that surface level as she like kind of subconsciously opens up her mind to you. You realize her subconscious is very broken and fragmented. You've cast the spell before, so you know what like what your typical brain or consciousness kind of feels like, and this one feels like it's not all there. Like there's pieces and patches missing, and there's like a lot of fogginess. And you actually kind of traverse this. It's almost like you zoom into her iris if this was like a movie. And when you zoom out, you're like in this like sort of foggy, dark space. And you hear or feel, I guess, thoughts of like, you know, being afflicted with madness. You see from like her eyes looking out, but like I said, it's like two large windows in a dark, foggy space. You see like the fairgrounds. You see going underneath the banister. And then you see like the chaos, I guess, that ensues, or the fracturing that happens there, as there's like this sort of, you know, madness that overtakes her. And you also see like other fractions of memories. You see freely, you see the curse being dispelled. And as the curse is dispelled, you see the past few days of everything that has transpired. And you see her trying to speak, but being unable to do so. And you see that like in some ways, some of her memory has been damaged, but also that like she almost seems like she was unconscious for a large part of her time before this, if that makes sense. And yeah, that's what you get out of delving into her mind.
Is there does it feel like a child's memories? Does it feel like an adult's memories? What sort of texture is there to the process? Because we saw her adventures with this girl previously. Yeah.
So as you like kind of look around and like this question pops into your mind, it's almost like the windows close or they blink. And then by the windows, I mean, these are like her eye holes. I don't know if this is making sense. But you almost see those like blink. And when they open, you see like being shut into a box, and you see like being put into a cold, dark attic. And then like time passes and eventually her eyes close. And when they open again, you see a brief glimpse of that girl. And it's those memories are almost like gilded in like a fuzzy light. And you get the sense that these are like cherished memories. And you actually, as the eyes blink and open again, you kind of see them open for the first time. And you see this little girl sort of talking to the doll and saying to it like, see, we'll be together forever.
Was she crafted to be a companion?
You get maybe that could be it. It seems like there is you see tea parties, you see, like I said, the hand getting ripped and another one lovingly being crafted out of felt and put on that spot. And you see like mud pies and worms and things like that.
Is there anything before getting shut into the box?
The memories are out of order from what you can ascertain.
Okay.
So like the box memory becomes, and then the tea party memory comes. But you can also tell, I guess, like from the wear on the hands and the dress that some of these memories are, like I said, out of order. Okay. And some of them she has two hands. And they're those kinds that are like the weird porcelain hands that you have attached to like those puppy dolls, like that.
Okay. So I think I will come back out of the detect thoughts. Do you remember the people who brought you into?
I don't know if there's lag.
I think
Sorry, I'm having lag. I'm switching to.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh no, Machete took over Alyndra. Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. Adventures in
I was
technology.
like, I don't know if
I'm
that's pause
super
for
lagging.
drama.
Let me
or...
switch to.
I think it might have been the
different
filter.
Yeah, it just messed with my stuff. Let's see if this works. In any case, yes. So I'm asking her if she recalls her the people from before, the girl, the parents of the girl, anything like that from before.
You hear like kind of reverberate inside her head, like, no.
All right. And I come back out. I think she was created to be a companion for that girl we talked about.
You see how Havara like turn her head back and be like, created?
Or summoned? Or
Did she
transferred?
somehow bond her soul with this doll? I don't really understand how she made this doll her companion, but how is the little girl's spirit stuck in it?
I don't know. It's not the little girl. They're distinct.
Oh.
They're different. She was there to keep the girl company.
So why is she trapped?
Oh.
I don't know. There's chaos. There's something happened that has made it confusing and disorienting. But the girl was there, and they were together.
Maybe it was best friend of the little girl at some point. And
Or a
that
parent.
passed away. Or a parent. A friend or a family.
A friend, a
relative.
sibling.
Well, you know what? She started to talk, you know. We just give her more time and she can probably talk more.
It's true, but someone has hurt her, and that's not fair. And I don't know if we can help. But Orkira, she's been through a great deal of trauma and pain, and is there anything we can do to help her heal?
And you see Orkira's just kind of hiding behind you, and then you'll address her, and she'll.
Or sheepish Orkira.
I mean, there's two things I can do. One is heal, and one is destroy undead or free trapped spirits. So I don't know if either of those are the thing you want me to do. And
I think you should destroy it because that's heresy.
Like he very much like clutches her to her chest, and I'm like, nobody is going to destroy Machete.
You have to burn out heresy.
well, I don't want to destroy.
She like looks back and you see her little like turtle mouth smiling.
I mean,
well, I don't know if this is heresy or not. I don't want to destroy.
Heresy!
I don't wanna-
Necromancy is heresy.
wait, is this necromancy?
No, it's not.
Well,
heresy.
You're
Yes, it
talking
is.
about binding souls. That's heresy.
I mean, if she's been bound against her will, then I want to be able to fix that. But that does usually involve things like destroying the thing that she's been bound to. And there's not much fixing that if I'm wrong. So we might want to find out more.
You feel the turtle shell stop and you see the giant head look back and she says, if you're all doing heresy, I will pull this turtle shell around.
No.
Absolutely not. And some necromancy heals, actually. So we're just figuring things out. Can I do kind of an investigation or arcana check? Like, is there anything like woven into this doll that maybe came from a person?
You wouldn't be able to know without cutting her open.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going. No.
Yes, really.
Where?
It's when the turtle turns around, it's like if you guys are doing heresy like that, Freely kind of like walks towards her and he's like, hey, your worshippers had this doll. Your people did this. So I like very much hold Machete like where she can see it. And I'm like,
What?
you tell me, like, you don't want like innocent creatures suffering on your watch in your name, do you?
Also, it's very possible that the people at the fair didn't know. They just thought it was a creepy doll. So we're all just trying to do the right thing for, I mean, Machete is not the name of this doll anymore. Do we, Alyndra, were we able to find out what their name
Did I
actually
find
is?
a name? Did I see anything with a name? Did I hear a name?
No, not in your recollection. You didn't see anything like that had it embroidered on her. Your field of view was so small because you're looking through the eyes of this tiny little doll.
Where do souls go here?
Where do souls go? They go and become a part of the big engine of life.
Well, probably not all souls. I'm assuming some go to the place they're supposed to, and some go to the bad place. And
Bad place. I don't know about that. That's not what my dad told me.
well, that's because you're not a bad person. You don't do bad things. So you don't have to
Well,
worry
that's
about it.
Hang on,
also probably because I'll like never die.
Wait, excuse me. Time out. Well, two things. One, you almost died like today, but besides that, like, who was your father?
Oh,
I mean, if we hadn't gotten there in time, like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're all right, but like things were like not going your way. But wait,
wow.
who's your father?
I
'Cause
ease
you've
up to
mentioned-
Freely.
hang on, Avren. This is important.
Hey,
Who's
buddy.
your father? 'Cause
Freely's
you've
an
mentioned
extra
this.
mean person. I don't like him anymore.
No, I'm just saying I'm glad we saved you, but just some context. But wait, no, but who's your father? You've mentioned your daddy a couple of times. Who's that?
Back it up.
Well, it's been a long time since
Freely doesn't budge, by the way,
him.
when he's trying to do this. Yeah.
Not since I was a little hatchling, but
Uh-huh.
I believe it's upon his back that the whole world rests.
Your dad is covered in worms?
What?
What? No. Huh?
Well, the
My
ocean-
dad is not wormy. Your dad is wormy. You have my dad can beat
Wait.
your dad up.
Worms,
Well, yeah.
worms with a Y. WYR.
My dad would
Wait.
punch your dad, and your
Dragons.
dad would turn into a star.
Why are we fighting now? I'm so confused.
Because she said my dad was wormy.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that-
that
sounds-
that
bit where
was-
we accused all her followers of being evil, and then
Right?
No, I didn't accuse all of them. I just said
Really?
some of them, the ones that had the doll.
Yep.
Really?
Yes,
Fix
yes,
this.
Penelope.
Fix
But-
this. Fix
Okay,
this.
I'm sorry, Ahavara. High tensions here. I'm in the hero business. I save people, and I have someone in distress, and I'm feeling kind of helpless, and that makes me a little like outwardly aggressive because normally I fix my problems through violence. So I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. Having a great time. Glad we met. We're gonna go do some hero stuff and fight a lightning worm like later today. But right now, I'm just trying to help this one little doll, and I really need your
understand,
help.
but I don't know about that stuff because that's extra bad stuff.
Havara, being that
I
you
don't
are what
do
you
that.
are, is it possible that you could help this doll and help reconnect its thoughts and make it complete again, or release it in a beneficial way, since you were able to help all of us? This
Hmm.
is something that's in need, and you helped me.
Well, I could maybe help. I guess I could. And you know what? I can't be responsible for what all of my followers do. I'm a
No.
very popular turtle.
I know
Very.
how that is.
No, heard-
totally.
All good things about you. I just like very much elbow Avren when he says that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not responsible for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, that's valid. That's
And you've
valid.
never
That's-
followed.
yeah, I'm not on you. That's true.
Yeah, it's more of an exchange.
I'll have to think about it. Like I said, normally this is heresy, and I don't study heresy. But
never-
I'll
it's never
see
heresy
what
to
I
me. You
can
want
do.
You understand being trapped because you were.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I know how to undo someone else's heresy. It's like what Orkira said. Usually you just burn that stuff, and you see the volcanoes on her back kind of rumble gently.
Avren, what if you tried the light thing? What's the light thing do?
What like? I didn't talk to you about this.
Do the-
No,
I-
yes,
oh, I-
okay,
I
okay.
thought it was said out
I
loud.
probably got
Wait,
drunk and I
am I-
mentioned it. a
Am I
bit.
being meta? I thought it was said out loud.
No,
I apologize.
no. I got very drunk and I was like,
Avren,
"Ooh,
I
look,
told you
can
when
do
you're
light."
drinking, do not send sending stones.
Right. No, do the light thing. Let's see. Here, I'll let it hit me too. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go into the light,
It will
Avren.
burn the literally the daylights out of you. Actually,
Wait, it's
uh,
violent light?
it's all light is violent if you get bright enough. Yeah, it's not
Oh.
always a good thing.
Oh, I thought it was
I-
like happy light.
When it's radiant, it's not always a good radiance.
Oh no, believe me,
Well,
you've
it
seen
is
what I
a
do. with-
happy light. It banishes the darkness of ignorance and heresy.
Yeah, do it, man. Let's go.
Okay, you just want to
And
sound
you
like someone I know.
You see her like her volcanoes roil.
Yeah.
And then you see like she's still stopped, by the way. And
Right.
now you see her face straining to come over to her shoulder still freely. And she's like, "You're supposed to be my friend."
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
no.
I got
First-
one.
First,
Sofieus.
okay, this is like a lot. We just met, but yes, we're your friend and we're her friend and we're each other's friends and we're Port Argent's friends, and that's why we're out here trying to like save like everybody. Like we want everybody saved.
Okay, everybody, raise your hand if you have mending, because I don't want this to go wrong. Okay, and everyone's got it. Good. Okay. So,
But before you do, can I make a suggestion?
well, yeah, yes,
Yes,
you can,
please.
and also,
And
this
also,
thing is not cursed as a thing. It maybe has been cursed, or it just exists, or it's very unhappy. So let's no more killing dolls or things that look evil just because they're the book. Don't judge the book by its cover. So what's the
That's
suggestion?
true. If I judged you by your cover, I would think you're a freaky deaky evil person.
Well, that's accurate actually, but
I'm not gonna lie, like as far as followers go, you're kind of you know.
I'm not your follower. Nice though.
Well, I mean, you accepted my boon and you gave
Yeah.
me your sword.
Also, you heard the call. Yeah, no, she like chose you in particular. I
Yeah,
feel like you of all of us.
There
Oh,
was some worship happening.
Mhm. You
There was
did pray
no
to
worship,
her,
and freely,
yes.
if I worship the turtle, then you're my worshiper. So if we're
I
going by
give
those
you
rules,
I gave you my favor.
Did you gave freely a boon?
I gave him my favor.
You're now my knight.
That's strong. That's strong, Avery. That's strong.
Goodness.
It's just a mechanical arm.
Sophia's
Come
is
on.
eating popcorn right now.
Yeah.
She just
Right.
happened to have some popcorn kernels. There's a volcano. She's got a cauldron. She's just watching all this go down.
I just
You've got one of
I-
those Jiffy Pop Jiffers things over the volcano.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna arrive at a rend in reality, like eventually, and like some other stuff's about to happen. So yeah, come on, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's important that we all stay together. And sometimes my temper gets the better of me. And, you know, it's just, yeah, it's best not to be hasty with these things.
I completely agree. Orkira, you had a suggestion.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so, and I'm going to specifically address a Havara when I say this. I'm going to say, so the problem right now is that we don't have all the information because we don't know about this soul that's trapped in the doll. And I know that there's a way to get memories back that you've lost. I used to be able to do it myself, and Penelope used to be able to do it, but we can't anymore. I can do a lesser version of it. And if it helps, Orkira will actually pull out her book and start to think about lesser restoration and start to explain like how she just knows what to do to fix things. And I was wondering if you knew how to do the greater version of this, because there's a time where I was missing some memories and it worked on me. And if we want to know more about what's going on with the soul and help and stop whatever heresy has happened, that would really be helpful. Do you know how to do that?
I think maybe I do.
Could-
I feel
do
like it's somewhere in my mind.
I can help. I remember kind of how to do it. I just don't have the power anymore. And then I think that might help.
Yeah, let's see. And you see her kind of like roll her eyes back as she's like going through her mental Rolodex of spells. Scrying. No, that's foresight. No.
No.
That's a fun
can be
one.
handy.
That's fireball.
Fireball's a fun one, yeah.
Big fan of Fireball. Yeah, I don't know how well that works in the ocean, but you know, okay.
Don't think about it too hard. Though.
I don't know. I was breathing while I was down there, and the fire breath didn't work too well. So
Actually, and then I ignite the green flame blade. I'm like, no, this worked okay though, but it was just maybe a different thing. Yeah.
Let's not distract the giant turtle god.
That one's okay.
Wait, would it be wrong of me to like, give a little inspiration to a god? Because I'm like, normally I'm like, you got this, I believe in you, but like, I mean, yeah, is that?
no, everyone could use a little pep talk. Freely, go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
all
for
right. Yeah, no, I very much like put my hand on her neck, and I'm all like, I'm sorry I stressed you out a second ago. I think you're a very beautiful turtle god, and I will sing your praises to the end of my days. You got this. And I hit her with bardic inspiration. A big old D6.
There you go. You've inspired a goddess.
I'm gonna need to roll the 7 on my d20. And then you said a D8, additional D8.
D6.
Oh, that's a big old D6.
D6.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help though. Okay. So as she like sits there, kind of going through this mental Rolodex, and this is really just, she is young for a god, but old for a creature. And this is like asking her to remember something she learned in preschool. So she's like combing her vast consciousness, looking for it. And she's like, that's arcane eye, I think. That's animal messenger. I don't think we need that. And you see her like going through. Na, 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 na. And then she hits on it and she's like, I think I could do it. Maybe.
I knew it.
I definitely can.
Flash of genius. Maybe with a +3, you could know you could do it.
Mm-hmm. And with the flash of genius, she's like, yeah, no, lesser restoration. I got it. Yeah, it's right there. In that part of my head. And you see her like pupils like shoot up.
When Sofieus does that, I turn and look at her. I'm like, wait, you can do that too? You can be like, no, you got this. And then like people do got it. Like that's a thing you can do.
Well, I could do it because you encouraged her.
Oh,
Teamwork.
Stop it.
It's
Sophia.
teamwork.
All right, yeah.
Greater, the bigger one.
The most greatestest.
Yeah, the bigger one.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you please?
Yeah. And you see her like start to. She's like, should we do this now or should we do this after we get to the barrier?
Maybe now, because when we get to the barrier, like Alyndra said, it might be very like rah, because that's kind of how our lives tend to go. So maybe do it now.
Okay, got it.
That's actually why our team name is VAR.
Yeah, that's.
How do you
true,
spell
yeah.
that?
It's primordial. You're gonna have to.
It's true.
Yeah.
I thought it was halfling. It is primordial. It is very fundamental. That is true. Yeah.
RAR BRGH PU
Rar raspberries. Yeah.
HHFF.
Yeah.
Got it.
You cast not you. She casts greater restoration. I'm just gonna pull up the text for that just so we have it in front of us. I can search by keyword on D&D Beyond.
Ooh.
As she casts it, Orkira can't help but look wistful.
Exactly. No, Freely's like, oh, same Orkira. Man, when I got here, I couldn't even smite. Do you know how rough that was? Like, I was like, just, yeah.
Wait, where did I put? Let's see. That's the sound of her brain.
Oh, I was
working.
wondering what... I'm like, well, I'm about to get killed by a clown.
Ahavar, I think you have an earworm. I hear music playing inside your head.
That would scare her. A
It's
worm
true.
in her ear.
Yeah, and it sounds like this. Your
Your dad is wormy. My dad is not wormy. Greater restoration. So you imbue a creature you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target. One effect that charmed or petrified the target. One curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item. Any reduction to one of the target's ability scores, or one effect reducing the target's hit point maximum. Is this the one?
That's the one, but yeah.
I thought it said in the flavor text it just fixes stuff, but yeah, okay. I got too many. I got too many additions of this game floating around in my mind.
It's the fact that it's a little more general. It doesn't specifically say it fixes memories. But I was kind of hoping the cursed part would help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we've used it before for that.
But it's totally up to you. Like if Ahavara says, "Oh no, wait, that's not gonna work," or if it doesn't, like I'll understand. But
and especially considering we have no idea what's actually happened to her, we don't know what might fix it. Yeah.
Yeah. She like you see her like move her head back and kind of like poke at Machete with her like little overbite mouth. And then like nothing really happens. And she does it again. She's like, oh, I know. And she like opens her mouth and just like gently puts it in her mouth. And she's like, I think I just have to chew on it for a while.
Oh, come on, hang on, wait. You know, this isn't like chewing out heresy, is it? Because like
a gentle chew.
I look at Machete. I'm like, we can mend you.
He is stuffed.
Sometimes the
probably-
best way to solve a problem is to chew on it.
Oh, she's not wrong.
Figuratively, though. Figuratively. I mean, I've found being chewed on is the problem. Okay, you're God. Okay, all right, do it. No, do it.
I do want to
Ow.
say, if she swallows it, Orkira and you are the ones going in.
No, I'm super gonna go in and after. Yeah, no, like that's not gonna be Machete's in. Not today.
But you're
Okay.
not coming out of the mouth. So
But why are you like this?
The restoration didn't
Centuries.
work, but don't worry. I'll just chew on it for a while and I'll figure it out.
I think this is what they call an act of faith, really, being that you worship this turtle god.
No, but you're her chosen champion, not me. But okay.
I'm not anyone's chosen champion.
You know,
I mean,
guys, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay,
fine.
all right, Penelope says it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
We gotta
It's gonna be okay.
focus. We have
Focus.
a
It's
world
okay.
to save, okay?
It's true. Yeah, I mean, like we.
Yeah,
say
one
for, like-
problem at a time.
Yeah, like-
Doll, world,
Right.
big worm. Yeah.
Well, sometimes one little girl is the world. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. All right.
Aw.
I put doll first. I put the girl first.
No, I know. I'm with you, Orkira. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Don't really, Feely. If I wanted to destroy it in you, there are easier ways to do it than by eating you.
Valid. And I'm just like, hey, Machete, you're gonna be good. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine.
She has given us her blessing by kissing us.
And she did say
Perhaps
her.
her magic works through her mouth.
Yeah,
And
no.
her
It
spit
says
will
she has
heal the
magic
world,
spit.
yes.
And magic
So I
spit? No,
think- I
I'm
think-
ready.
Lee, did I
We
ever
trust-
tell you
we
about the
trust
time I blew up an
goddess
elf?
here.
Yeah, the elf story. I remember. Yeah, I very much
So
put
those-
the doll in her mouth.
Worst ways to go.
You and Whittle, man. Just all right, your weird combination. Yeah, okay. All right.
What about Whittle? I mean, what's about Whittle? She taught me everything I know. Do not speak badly of her.
It's true. On the Whittle walkie-talkie that you've had this entire time. Who's saying my name? Yeah.
Hello, Whittle. It's nice
Heard
to
you were
hear your
talking
voice.
ish.
Hey, Alyndra.
So the 90 days when your
you're
mom's
doing
still on the
well.
phone.
I've just had Whittle on speakerphone this entire time.
It's true. It's true. We never thought to ask her what she thought about any of our various predicaments. That's
I-
true.
Probably should have consulted her.
Yes. Turn over the doll. Let the god do her thing.
I'll figure it out. We'll figure something out, I'm sure.
Well, can I just ask one last thing, and then I'm gonna turn this all over to you? When we go like fight the lightning worm, Kretzala, if we like die horribly, or like it just doesn't work out, or we end up shifted to another plane, which happens more than you might expect, would you please make sure she makes it back to shore safely?
Yeah. I can do that. I mean, that's assuming I don't die either.
No, but you can't die. Remember?
I don't know. You made a good point. What if Kretzala just pins me to the ocean floor and keeps me there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks until I run out of air and die?
That's what you got us for.
That's like a Friday.
I
Yeah.
happen to be very good friends with a resurrection god who could probably help you.
Heresy!
I
No.
don't think that bit's heresy. You know there's other gods, right?
Well, if she
Well,
if
no, but
necromancy is considered
yeah,
heresy, then
that's
raising the dead would be
heresy.
considered heresy. And
I'm
it's fair to respect the beliefs of a person if they don't want to be raised from the dead after they die.
I mean-
I do. Just for the record, let me just say out loud, enthusiastic consent to
that's
bring me back.
heresy.
Yeah.
If you die under there, I'll honor your memories.
Listen, half the deal of casting that spell is that you have the choice to come back. So I couldn't bring you back if you didn't want to anyway.
Hey, Penelope, if I get
I
super
would
get killed
prefer
out
to
there.
just not die, though. That would be ideal.
No, it's plan A. Plan A. Also,
Yeah,
Penelope,
same.
if I die out here, make sure you get my body back because you can be like an octopus or something. Like, right? Okay, all right. I mean,
Sophia's
You
just
can
hides
count
her
on me.
necrotic defibrillator that she used on Avren.
Not
No
that, though.
heresy here.
No,
That
no.
reminds me, before we get into battle, I can death ward one person, and I've been trying to figure out who.
A halfling.
I
Just
mean,
from experience.
yeah, but I feel bad about picking someone. So
Can you wait until someone is in trouble?
This is
Yeah,
a
but
bit,
the whole point of it is to do it.
Before you get into trouble.
Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours, so it's nice to kind of do it ahead of time, so that way it's one less thing to worry about.
okay, all right. Hold on a second. First of all, yes, Penelope is incredibly lethal now and able to turn into all kinds of improbable creatures. That's true, but I got a shield. Like I'm okay. Like I don't,
Yes, but have we? Listen, we've known each other for like since the
Apparently,
pod.
several
Yeah.
thousand years. Apparently,
Yeah. So,
right.
you do have a tendency sometimes, not all the time, to go in very quickly and exuberantly into lethal situations.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, Freely is a natural leader, so it would make sense if
Exactly.
he had the death ward on
It
him.
all comes
Right.
down to act first, think later.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is just an insurance policy. Like sometimes it was like
Yeah, it's just
tornadoes
like,
going through town all the time. Like, you
Yeah.
want to get. Yeah,
It's always wise to have an emergency kit first
just-
and be prepared.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is
but-
like a break the
Can't
glass
say
and
you
Wait,
have
take out
to.
the freely.
It just allows you to be you.
Okay, you've convinced me, Penelope. I will take the death ward. Okay.
I will come on over
Yeah.
and my hand lights up with fire and I'm like, I miss doing this. And I pat you on the back and there's this flash of fire that comes over your body and you now have a death ward. You
Okay.
can you'll be fine for 8 hours.
Wait, okay, you guys,
Diamonds
hear
are
me out though.
expensive.
Wait, hear me out though. Hear me out. I got death ward now, right? So if I fly the sub down Kretzala's throat and blow it up and I'm death warded, does that mean I'll live?
Yes, but you'll come back with very, very little health. So try not to do it on purpose because you could then immediately after that die. So it just helps for the initial really bad thing. Once.
Yeah, and speaking from experience, going inside of a god's belly and then exploding, not as fun as you initially would think that would be.
Yeah, no, that was pretty metal though. Like when you did that though, I thought that was
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. But then the smell.
Ugh. Also, are we swimming? Are we on the way to the rift? Are we
He
good?
kicks
Are
off and
Okay,
like
all right.
starts moving that way again.
Okay.
Oh, okay, boy, that was
Okay.
all right. Good job, everyone, talking up and then down the giant primordial god.
Can I pose a question to the group here? If we come across Kretzala first, are we fighting first? Or are we making a dash for the barrier to make sure that there's only
I
one?
think we close the barrier.
I think we try to close the barrier and then we protect the town.
Yeah.
Got it.
As you
And-
say this, she like looks back and she's like, oh, okay, good. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what page she's on, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Well, you
was on
guys
page-
said the barrier takes priority, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel a commotion in the currents.
Uh-oh.
That way, and her head points east.
sense of motion in the ocean.
I
Is-
do. That's my job.
I don't
know we've
like anything
traveled-
about how you drank that tea.
That's a
First of all,
gift right
we're,
there.
we're all adults here. Yeah. I say I know we're traveling like at godlike capacity. Like, is the shore even in sight anymore? Like, do we know, or is it
Mhm.
just like endless blue in all directions?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Right.
yeah. Mildly, there's not even birds overhead anymore.
Got it.
And she says, "Yeah, I hate coming out here.
Why?
Why?
It's desolate.
I mean, it's like blue and like sparkly and
Well, underneath, yeah, but I can't take you down there.
Don't we still
Why,
have?
why not? I can recast water breathing as a ritual if I need to.
How
That's
will
not a
you
problem.
hold on?
Shing, and then I'll look at everybody else and go, "Oh,
Mm, hopefully this works.
Rope?
Hopefully, what works?
Wait. What's happening?
well, we're
Like,
going
you
to the-
know, going underneath.
I mean,
The
I feel
breach.
the rift is gonna be the breach is under the water, right? I feel like at some point, like we had to, right?
I
Yeah.
mean, for us, it's like all
Not
the
gonna
same.
lie, I'm worried about you guys, Freely. Sometimes, full disclosure, y'all have a streak for buffoonery, and maybe,
Who, us?
yeah, a little bit.
I mean, she is a
You know?
god. She's seen Avren like for like a while now. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure Avren's an abomination, but I also think everyone deserves a chance at redemption. But he reeks of heresy and false magics.
Ah, he's
Yeah,
got a
I
few
very
of
much have
those.
no interest in
This-
redemption
this is
or
the-
any of that. Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
5th or 6th Avren. So I mean, it's just they
You
just
know.
come
Fifth.
off the factory line like this.
Yeah, 5th or 6th. As I hide my 138th tattoo.
I
But
will.
I figure if Penelope hangs out with you all, then you're probably pretty okay because she seems pretty in tune with nature.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, owlbears love her.
I will say, after I get my water breathing, just in case, I do get back in the sub. Like I get
Yeah.
back in Dave, so that
Maybe we all just get back in the sub so we don't have to hang on.
And she says, all right, I'm going to go under now. I think I have a pretty good idea of where the breach is. I'm a little scared, but you guys are here, so I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Wait. I know, odd question because I'm on your back. But like Penelope and I. Okay, wait, hang on. Penelope, chest bump. Bring it in. Bring it in. We gotta show it to her. Bring it in. Just. I just kind of come over to her neck and I'm like, this for luck. Okay, you ready? Ready?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a neck bump.
Yeah, go for it. Okay. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, we got this.
My
we got
dad
this.
literally holds up the world. I
Yeah.
can do this.
100%.
What are you doing to her neck?
No, I mean, her chest is like.
I feel
literally-
pumped up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We have a jacked up primordial now. That nothing bad ever happened there.
Yep. Get in the sub. Get ready to descend.
No one give
You
it
see
coffee.
like the anime thing happen to her like large, soft, galaxy eyes. You just see them go shink, like Pokemon style.
Yeah.
Turn into like, a cute furrow. And she looks like one
kind of
spicy
looks
turtle.
and gives a sort of a nod of approval. Like
Mhm.
that's a solid judgy eye.
Also, that's what you look like, Penelope. Like when we're fighting and you see how she's adorable, but she's like mad and adorable. Like that is what you're like. Yeah.
Deadly and adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see that blood dripping off of her bare teeth,
Yeah.
still adorable.
So Freely is going to get on the sub. Is anybody else coming on the sub? And is anybody else staying out of the sub?
I don't need to breathe. It's a thing.
Okay. I mean, technically, none of us do. We got water breathing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get in the sub.
I mean, you need to breathe water.
I mean, we're going to need to be able to touch the breach in order to use magics on it. Yes, most likely. Or
It's just
can
if we
do
have
it
to
at range?
hold on or not.
Yeah, I think I'll get in the. Yeah, let's all get
Well,
inside.
I will
Let's get
say, since we're straight, Freely's rationale for getting in the sub is the moment we get down here, something terrible is going to happen, and we're ready to
True.
be fighting. So
True.
that's his.
Fair enough. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm
in.
concerned by your forethought.
I mean, you can also cast spells from within the sub because you do have that viewing window.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
but
and
some
I
of us-
don't have any rules where it's like disadvantage on
Got it.
melee attacks underwater and stuff because I feel like that just slows down combat.
I'm just thinking about
Thank
like
you.
touch range spells.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
sure people
30
in the
feet.
comments are probably like, "That's a disadvantage." I think it slows down combat way too much.
DM's discretion.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we
What you say
understand fighting underwater is awful. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it's in all forms,
Mhm.
Mhm.
all
Also,
games.
You could. That means you could
Yep.
mage hand touch effects.
Or familiar.
I have two quick questions.
Mhm.
One, I still have the air bladder that
Yeah.
the turtles gave us. Could I have refilled that with air to get 3 puffs again?
Actually, since you're with Ahavara, she can give you a sort of magical diving helmet, like a bubble.
I love how you were like, she'll do something.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's magical. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, fully
I
legit.
think the rule on this would be that it is a bubble.
Mhm.
So if you take over 15 points of damage, it will pop.
Okay.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I still have water breathing. So
Yes.
okay. That's
But it
that's-
would provide a bubble. Yeah.
That you
knows.
can
Right.
speak into.
She's a goddess. If I want to believe that she could put a bubble on your head, World of Warcraft style, I'm going to believe that.
okay.
And now
So
her father holds up the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, that'd be
Her
that-
dad can kick your dad's butt.
Listen, my dad has been unfortunately deceased for a very long time, and yes, you probably could. I'm not arguing that. It's a weird thing to argue about. Okay, do I need to stay in the water for the bubble to work, or can I go into the sub? Can I go into Dave?
No. Yeah, you could. It's almost like a soap bubble.
Okay, then I will get a bubble and go into Dave because I know
Mhm.
eventually she's gonna have to get out again.
She
First of all-
basically blows a raspberry at you.
Literally
One of the
every time.
bubbles just comes and lands on your head. And as you bang on it, it feels very resilient.
Sign me up for one of those bubbles because
Mhm.
again I have exactly one spell if I can't if I can't talk. Two, every time you guys mention the submarine, I'm like, you're doing what? Oh, right. Yeah, for
I
the-
know, I love it so much. I feel
Got
so
it.
bad. Mm.
Hmm.
I will also, as we're getting into the sub, hey, Sofieus, can I put my bag back in your bag again?
Yes,
Like
of
bag
course.
inception. Yeah,
Yeah.
because your bag like protects everything, and I don't want my stuff to get wet.
Yeah, feel free. However many bags you have. It's
I
a
have a
bag
bag
inception
if you
inside
want,
of a bag inception.
Orkira. I
Yeah.
have this totally completely a bag of holding that you can put things in.
That's great. And I'll turn back to Sofieus. Thank you so much. And I will take off my bag and just take out the book and give her my bag.
I'm sorry, Petty, not this time.
So
I just pet the
Sophia's
bag.
takes her bag of holding and puts it inside of Avren's bag of holding.
No!
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
No. Like,
Oh, it
like-
happened.
What is the matter?
When the campaign ends.
So much for the rift in the barrier.
We're gonna
So-
cause a rift in reality.
We fixed it by destroying the barrier
The
entirely.
mushroom cloud, yeah. The
Let's-
rift is no
let's-
longer the problem. That's true.
Silver and steel's over, everyone. Bye.
You didn't want to save this whole world, did you?
Let's maybe that's a good idea, Sophius. Maybe we don't put two dimensions in one right now, but it might be something.
I was just kidding. I wasn't going to do that.
I love this guy. He's nice, and you just see this bag of holding with like large pointy teeth and like a disappointed look and slightly terrified.
So you don't put the bag of holding in the other
My
one.
bag of holding looks very dejected.
Mhm.
I literally had this moment of the history eraser button from Ren and Stimpy of just like Freely and Penelope just jump and tuck tail, and then there's just an electric explosion and nothing.
Even Avren doesn't want to be disintegrate that much.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I think
we get disintegrated. I think we just end up in the astral sea, which is fine.
I love that.
We got a
I
turtle god
summer
with
there
us.
all the time.
Yeah. We're in one ocean. We just end up in another. It's fine.
We have a goddess with us. It'll be great. No one's gonna care if we kill another goddess. That went really well for us the last time.
I mean, okay, we had to reset time, but yeah, I mean, proportionally, yeah, no, it was great.
We set
fine.
time like 438 times or something. It was not good, and basically everyone died repeatedly, and I have to continue to live with the guilt of that.
I mean,
So
you don't though, and now we're in purgatory, so it's all right. Don't worry about it. Then I get this up.
If you can turn back time, you can find a way.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yep.
We're all
Goodbye.
just gonna,
Goodbye.
Bye.
all right, gonna pack up my cursed relics and go.
I think I'm bleeding.
That'll be Avren's new idol champion skin. Is that share outfit?
Oh,
I'd pay
I
money
would do
for
it. Do not tempt me.
that. Hey, make that happen. Yep.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
I
might
will
know some people
straddle
over
that battleship cannon.
oh my god.
Sorry.
So we're in the sub.
We're in the sub.
This is why we've got 4 more episodes. There, that you just saw it, folks. Yeah,
Yep.
right. Mhm.
Okay.
Sub. Oh god.
And as you're in the sub, you see like like you see her shell kind of slowly submerge, and for a moment there, your vision is obscured. There's so many like bubbles and steam coming up as this like hot volcanic formation hits the water that you don't see anything for several minutes. And by the time your windshield sort of has a clear view, the ocean is very dark, almost pitch black here. You do have like that sort of light apparatus that shines down. And yeah, you're still kind of like attached or wedged onto a part of her shell. But the ocean around you is very dark. But then as you're like kind of descending in like this type of a direction, so you're going deeper, but also moving, horizontally as well. As you're descending at this sort of angle, you do start to see a faint light. It's like I said, almost pitch black around you, and then the water starts to turn like a light gray, and then lighter and lighter and lighter, and then you hear a Havara's like voice kind of reverberate, and she says, "Oh, that doesn't look good." And you see like these large bubbles kind of like puff up as she like opens her mouth to talk to you all.
What doesn't look good?
Yeah, can she hear us?
Mm-hmm. As you say that, like I feel like because you've all received her gift, like her sentience is with you, but she doesn't really understand how to communicate telepathically, so she still kind of talks really loud. You're sitting kind of like near the back of her shell, and you suddenly feel yourself like fly several feet forward as she flops you with her back foot and kind of like catches you on her shoulder, almost in a soccer pose. And she like, you see a big galaxy eye obscure half of the windshield, and she says, "Look." And as she does, and the bubbles kind of obscure your vision again and then disappear, sure enough, you see like a weird kind of almost mirage in the ocean. It's almost thin as like spider silk. You can barely see it, but then you see, almost like it's made out of silvery thread, a large just like tear with pieces of it kind of flying out into what is a darker like void almost. Almost looks like a riptide is pulling the sort of threads of it outwards, and you see pieces of like silvery kind of almost like a thread like, but more of like a ooze like or a viscous material kind of like flying back and forth. And you just see like the eye kind of like fixate back on you.
Be clear, it's like whatever is on the other side of the rift is being pulled in, not the ocean's being sucked out.
No, it is like pulling outward. Like it's like pushing into like a vacuum almost.
Okay.
Penelope, real quick. Can I talk to you over here very fast?
Yeah. Okay, what's up?
If anything happens, I need you to give this to Sofieus. And nothing's going to happen. But if something does, and I cast encode thoughts, which I can take memories or a particular thought, I encode all of my love for Sofieus, and I turn it into a red ribbon, and I hand it to Penelope. I need you to just, in case anything does happen, just hand that to her, and she'll know what to do with it. Okay?
Penelope is gonna tie it tightly, like around her neck, like a bow.
I won't let it leave anywhere from my heart.
That's so precious.
Thank you so much, Penelope.
Everyone's in the sub, right?
Yeah.
Then she turns into a goose.
I just appreciate all of us are like, Penelope is going to make it out of this, but if the rest of us don't. Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to make sure Penelope
Turns
gets out
into
of it,
a
right?
goose and with a bell
Nothing to see here.
and becomes a menace to society.
Abyssal goose, yes.
I mean, while they're doing this, I'll lean over to Sofieus and say, "That's a lot of mending. Wow."
Yeah. So how does everyone feel about, I don't know, firing into this thing? Can I make some kind of check?
Yeah.
Investigation check?
Well, lightning worms come out of that, so maybe we don't want to angry up what's on the other side of it.
Just want to close it.
I just want to close it.
I would like to use my Define Sense to see if there's anything overtly infernal or celestial happening here. Technically, infernal, celestial, or undead. If this is an undead rift, we're turning this sub around and leaving. But, you know.
If it's an undead rift, I have a few things I want to do first.
I was about to say, like, you see Freely just swim out and like,
The rift itself is not undead or anything like that. And yeah, there's nothing like about it that makes you feel like even like it's sentient. And you see like her eye is still kind of angry, and she's like, "Well, I guess we know what we're here to do."
Yep. Start spitting.
And you see her kind of like start diving towards this rift. Yeah.
Wait, you guys, do we need to take machete out of her mouth before she starts spitting like magic rift mending goo? I don't.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. It's probably stuck between
Teeth,
like,
yeah.
her molars or something. Yeah, it's probably okay.
Well,
Dude, but
you might
turtles
want to
don't have
mention.
molars.
You might want to mention just in case, you
Wait.
know.
Is she's because you said the sub is still roughly on her back, like we're still
Yeah.
moving with her, right?
Yeah. mhm.
I'm like, excuse me, your goddess fullness. Does machete need to come out of your mouth before you do this?
I swallowed her accidentally because I had to hold my breath.
All right, you're on poop patrol. I'm just saying.
But she'll be safe.
Okay, after we save the world, I will go into the turtle's inner world and retrieve
No,
Machete.
it's okay, Freely. Sir Biswalat will take care of it.
I promise I'll keep. She's probably safer in there.
That's
true.
true. How much
That's
ipecac
true.
do we think we need? That's gonna be a lot of it.
It was an accident.
might be
I
able to
took
just-
a big deep breath, and it was. I'm
We
sorry.
may be able to magically summon her. We'll figure it out.
Actually,
We'll
we'll
Or,
figure
you know,
out the-
baby
Yeah,
bird
yeah.
it into
Yeah.
Freely's mouth.
No, I get it. Save the world. Save the world.
Fun
Save the
fact: I
world,
did
save the
roll
world.
for that before she.
Oh no.
I rolled a bit to see if she would have the intelligence to remember that Machete was in her mouth when she went, and she
Can-
didn't.
No.
Can I just say I appreciate that my faith has been punished? Just thank you. New plan, heresy.
Heresy.
Hmm.
And
Team
she
heresy.
descends deeper towards this rift, and yeah, it's like I said, it's like almost invisible. You see like a faint shimmer, like as you kind of descend, almost like when you can tell there's like glass or something there, but you can see through it. And then there's like a part of it where it's opaque and almost silvery, and you can see like bits of ooze and like stringy, like almost like kind of like a viscous type material floating. And then you see this like massive hole, pieces of which have been punched outward. And you see her like descend towards this hole with like a lot of caution, because it almost feels like she's being pulled, like the current is pulling that way. Yes, Freely.
You said the sub's got a periscope.
Mhm.
Freely immediately starts looking everywhere else. Like all
Yeah.
eyes are on her. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on over there? Yeah.
As she like descends through this like closer to the hole, Freely, since you're on periscope duty, give me a perception check.
Really, what do you halfling eyes see?
What do you have to the east? Kretzala.
Kneecaps.
Hey, that is a natural 20.
Hey!
Nice.
There
And
you
every
go.
time myself or one of our amazing adventurers rolls a 20, somebody in the chat wins a legendary bundle courtesy of D&D Beyond. So with the nat 20, as you're looking through the periscope, this is, like I said, this is almost impossible to do, but being what it is. But because you rolled a 20, you see something sentient move past the periscope. And you see like it almost kind of start to blend in, or try to kind of like blend in with the silver thing. And you realize that the water that Havara is moving through is rife with a creature that is trying to like maneuver around her. You see it start to like, you see like almost like a silvery movement through the water. It's almost like a current. It doesn't even look like a creature, but you know that this isn't moving with the current. You see it like move its way towards her neck, and you see another one down by her foot.
Okay. You guys, normally I just like shoot first and ask questions later because I'm just like, hey, whatever. But I realize I might just like kill us all. There's
What?
things like you see over by her neck, that silver thing. That's not the rift.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And then like over by her
Oh,
foot,
God.
to the left of her foot. Like, I mean, I would just grab the cannon and start doing what I do. But
Are you
I'm
safe?
literally out of my depth right now. So
Are we surrounded?
sort of like flanked.
What are they?
Does it look anything like what Kretzala was described as? Presumably it's not made out of electricity, but I mean, does it look long and serpentine or anything of the sort?
No, it looks more like snot.
Oh.
Hey, Havar, you might want to back away for a second. There's Freely saw something.
What? And
I
as
try-
you say this, like you see something tighten around it. She's like, oh no, and roll for initiative.
I'm like, hit the cannon, Sofieus. Hit the cannon.
Oh goodness.
Oh
Right,
God, the
exist.
grease spell went too far.
That's true. It's Greece has haunted us all this time.
Maybe I should have given a Havara the death ward.
Death warding a god.
I thought about it for the briefest moment. She was like, I don't want to die. And I was gonna just death ward the goddess, but
Oh man, that's a whole conversation between your primordial and this primordial.
Right?
True.
Right? There were a lot of questions in that moment.
So you dig water, huh?
The Phoenix is like, take a knee.
Yeah.
Dirty
your
20
friend,
for
right?
Freely, by the way.
Okay.
Alyndra's a 7.
I am also a 7.
Okay, so
I just imagine the two of you were like, wait, what? That's not what? I'm like, no, left, further left, near the third group of bubbles.
Wait, where do I aim, Freely? I feel like we're surrounded. Is that all snot?
so Alyndra and Avren are at 7.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Orkira?
8.
Consistent.
And then Penelope?
19.
19.
You guys aren't going last. You're going first in the second round.
Thank you for saying so.
And Sofieus?
Makes me feel
15.
better every time.
15.
Yep.
Sweet. And is that Freely, was that your roll with advantage?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the very benevolent DM gave me an item that gives me advantage on initiative.
The ooze still gets to go first, and now you see it. It's like as it's made itself opaque, as it like wraps around like her neck, and it's huge, and it seems to be like one creature, and you see like a maw open, and you see it like pull down on her as she's like, kind of struggling. And as she does this, or as this happens, like you see her kind of panic a little bit, and you feel the turtle shell kind of moving as she's struggling and trying to get away. And the Dave unit that you're in starts to roll a little bit into the crux of her neck. Okay, so it's going to, let's see. She is restrained. She wouldn't be able to breathe, but she can breathe water, so she's okay for now. Or actually, no, she can't breathe water. She holds her breath. So she panics a little bit.
How long has it been since we had the fight to free her?
Yeah, so she can hold her breath for quite a long time. So this isn't a big deal. But
She also would have water breathing on her from us.
Yeah.
Like
But I wouldn't
exclude her from that.
And she can't move.
Mm.
And in addition to that, you see that's a lot of damage. You see a black mark start to like embed itself around her neck, and you start to see like it burn into her flesh where this creature is, like right around it, almost like a burn mark from a noose or something like that. And you can tell from her face that she is in pain as she like struggles and moves against this thing. I should also probably roll initiative for her. That would probably be useful. I got nat 20. Sorry. language.
Okay.
But yay!
That is the proper
Yay!
reaction.
There was the proper
Every
reaction.
PG-13 film gets one.
You had to get the one. Get the one.
Sorry, my bad.
It was apropos.
That was a good use of the one.
No
Yeah.
one's saying anything because they're too busy winning a legendary bundle.
That's true.
So I will have
The
her.
pearl clutch while they're collecting their.
I very rarely roll them, so I get
Mhm.
excited when I do. Okay. So normally she would have gone, I think, before this ooze, but she's gonna go after because I flubbed the roll. So
Mhm.
it'll be her and then Freely, because Freely yours was a dirty 20, right?
Dirty. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So it like you see this like sort of like black mark start to appear around her neck. The flesh there kind of withers and cracks a little bit. And you see suddenly, like, let's see what she does. She strains against it and tries to grab at it with her beak. She succeeds. And you see almost like, have you ever seen like turtles, like when they eat jellyfish? It
Mhm.
almost looks like that. Like she snaps at it and you see the thing kind of like relinquish its hold on her a little bit. And she manages to become unrestrained and continue moving towards the hole. And you see her like large glittering eye look back at you all again, because you can only see one side of her face. And she just says, "Buy me time."
I got an idea, but you guys aren't gonna like it.
It's your turn.
I hit it with compelled duel.
Okay.
Make
Okay.
it want to fight me.
Nice.
I just like stand in the mirror, like, come on, let's go. Wisdom 15.
Okay. I don't think these creatures are that wise. Let's see.
Never know.
I got a 5.
I'm like, yeah, come on, you big snotty sucker, pick on somebody. Well, she's your son, but yeah, come on, come get it. I want it. That is technically just a compel duel as a bonus action.
Okay.
So now to be clear, you said we can cast spells through here, but like not things like Eldritch Blast, because that's a line, correct?
Yeah, that would
Okay.
require like an uninterrupted line.
Well, I'm all like, I'll bust out the window. I don't care. I just look at Sofieus and I'm like, hey, Sofieus, hi. You mind if I take that cannon for a little swing-a-roo real quick?
Sure. You can try. You can try.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I get it. Like you just kind of point, you just hit this button. So I whatever the cannon does, it was an artificer thing. Am I even capable of firing her cannon? I guess that's the first question.
I will leave that up to the DM.
I mean, if it's an artificer ability, I'm okay if I can't.
Yeah.
What?
You look at it's like looking at like the inside the inside of a clock. There's like a million buttons and a million cogs, like just kind of like, and you're like,
yeah, I'm like, no, how hard can it be? Like, I've been around. Okay, right, okay. Then
so the dingle hopper mechanism.
Exactly, the dingle hopper. You just have to rotate the crank on the left side. There are 3 buttons you have to push with your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and then there's a little pedal at the bottom of the can. It's very easy. Don't forget to extend the accordion neck when you do it.
Sofieus, I love you, but you build guns like you cook. So let me ask you this:
It's not very complicated.
Can I use my movement to steer the sub away? Because I've got its attention, so it's like you, and I'm like, wrong.
Yes, you can definitely do that.
I'm like, hold on, you guys.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Which is going to kind of be our substitute for a piloting check.
Alrighty, that is going to be a dirty 20.
Perfect. So yeah, you get this like sort of underwater gyroscope moving in the opposite direction. It starts rumbling back along her neck, and you see now kind of in the windshield as you're moving backwards, like this like almost like a translucent long serpentine creature with like 2 glittering eyes and like a watery maw that like opens and then whoosh comes in the water after you, mouth open. Then it is Penelope's turn.
Okay, buy her time. Okay. Do it. Look behind you. And I'm casting a whirlpool.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
Nice.
So this creates a whirlpool like 50 square feet, and I'm casting it behind them enough to where we're not getting pulled into it. So your creature will be pulled towards it, but can make a strength athletics check DC 13 to try to get away from it.
Okay. So DC, and this happens on its turn or on your turn?
Oopsies, went away. Hang on. When the creature enters the vortex for the first time, it can make a strength saving throw.
Okay, so that would be now.
Yeah.
I got a 11 plus, okay, so that's 14.
Okay, so it passes. It's going to take half of 9 damage. So 5, 4.
I'm tracking damage manually on my end. All right, so it takes 5 damage. I'll round up because I'm nice. And is it still pulled backwards if it makes the strength throw?
Sorry.
On a failed save is on a successful save, half damage and isn't caught by the vortex.
Okay. So you see like the vortex like pop up in the water, and you actually see some of like the rear end of this like long serpentine creature almost get chopped up like the end of a blender, but it still keeps moving towards you. regardless of that, it is now its turn. It is going to slam into the front of the Dave unit. Because it has some reach. And with a 19, it is going to hit because, I should tell you, the AC of your Dave unit is 18.
That's not bad AC.
No, it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
It was going to be lowered if you had, I think if Sofieus hadn't rolled that well, I think the AC was going to go down. It's going to be more compromised, but it's pretty high. I guess I should tell everyone this. Okay, so your Dave unit has an AC of 18 and it has hit points of 75. All right, and so it's going to do
74, more than we need.
16 points of damage as you see like almost like a crunching sound. You hear like a sick metallic groan as this happens.
We can mend that. Don't worry about it. No, we're good. We're good.
And then you almost like you see like a mild dent kind of appear in the hull, but it holds strong for now. It is your turn, Sofieus.
So some of the metal that falls from the top of the sub, I'm gonna catch it and kind of crush it up in my hand and drop it into the dragon's mouth at the end of my staff, and kind of cast this white bluish light with a blue halo out the window of the sub and cast reduce on this serpentine snotty thing around us.
Okay, perfect.
So let's see. Has to make a con save of 14 or higher.
Okay. Let's see. I got a 15.
Okay.
So does it still work at half capacity or?
I wasn't prepared for that. The spell has no effect on a success.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use my cannon and I'm going to gulp and turn around and look at Avren and my friends and ask, so do you think we should protect ourselves or should I just fire at this thing?
I think fire.
Both?
Yeah.
Why not
fire,
both?
Fire. Why not both? Why not both?
Well, I can only do one, unfortunately. So fire.
Fire.
Okay, fire it is. She has a little periscope contraption that isn't actually a periscope that controls the cannon on the outside of the sub. And she pushes a few buttons. The cannon kind of extends on an accordion neck and fires one scorching ray.
Okay.
Let me get this here. Sorry, I'm thinking of my arcane firearm.
I was going to say,
cannot do a scorching ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can't do two. You can do.
I'm rusty.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so it is a flamethrower cannon.
Okay.
15-foot cone of fire. Each creature takes 2d8 fire damage. So it has to make a dex save of 14 or higher.
Okay. I think we established with Orkira's spells last game that fire works at half the distance as it does. It has half capacity on everything, just to like.
Okay.
I remember, I think we halved your fire damage, didn't we, Lauren, last session?
Yeah, she breathed and she did half, but that wasn't magic fire, so I don't know if that's any different. But yeah.
Is that true for green flame blade?
A green flame blade just burned before, but I don't know. I don't know if you what the ruling on the field there for why it is green flame. I don't know. I think maybe you just took pity on me that I could do a thing. So yeah.
It's the copper in that flame that makes all the difference.
It's true.
I guess I assumed it was because it was magic versus.
Yeah, you're right. That was actual normal fire or natural versus like a magical effect.
There's literally nothing normal about breathing fire. Though.
I know.
For
now
me,
I'm
that's
like,
super normal.
well, if someone cast bonfire underwater, I would be like, how does that work? When it comes to like science and D&D, it just doesn't mix.
It's a little.
It's
loosey-goosey.
whatever you
know,
say
well,
goes.
but
it's
it-
whatever
yes.
the DM says.
Whatever you say is true, but I would say Green Flame Blade, even as written, it reads more like it's napalm because it spreads
Yes,
and it gets
yes.
on other stuff. And
Yes.
so
Yeah. I don't even view it as like flame. If you tried to like, if this was the end of Fifth Element and you had to activate that pillar with flame, I wouldn't count Green Flame Blade, but I
Right.
would count a match.
Right.
Deep cut there. Anyway.
Good.
And it is a magical cannon.
Okay.
So I would assume that the fire is also magical.
Yeah.
And that is
I'm-
why it
okay.
can be cut in
There
half
also
or
are-
used at all.
Our subaquatic thermal vent. And here's the nerd. Subaquatic thermal vents that are at extremely high temperatures.
Yeah,
So basically,
yeah.
it could boil the water around and do the damage through the heated water.
That's
Yeah.
super metal.
instead of the fire.
I mean, since we're nerding out, when a mantis shrimp attacks, it actually doesn't hit with the claw. It boils the water around it, and you're hit with a wave of boiling water force
I was
before the claw
just
hits.
No, I like
thinking about
that.
that exact thing. I was like,
super metal.
yeah.
I'm
I
so
like
I'm,
that.
I shouldn't
Don't
have brought
be-
it up because she's going to attack us with a giant mantis shrimp that attacks us with like boiling,
Right?
like
Crab
claw fist.
battle.
Right.
No, both of you are amazing. I love this. The geek out. It's amazing.
Roll damage.
Violence. Yeah. Roll for violence.
This thing is giant, so I'm gonna say that you hit it. I'm not gonna
Okay.
bother with the dex save.
So that's 2d8 fire damage. That's going to be a 10. So 5.
Okay.
So yeah, when I aim the cannon at this thing, it's moving really quickly, so I'm trying my best to keep up with it.
Mhm.
And I just imagine that the cannon is blowing like hot bubbles at this thing.
Yeah. The hot bubbles hit it. You see it kind of like reel, and it is going to wrap or attempt to wrap its like body around the Dave unit. Let's see if it can. I mean, the Dave unit, I don't know if it would have a dexterity saving throw. Let's have you make that throw since you're piloting freely.
Okay. Based on what stat?
You want to do a dex saving throw and you need to beat a 13.
Dex save with my stats or a pure dice roll or what are we
It's your
what's my
stats.
modifier? Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
because you're piloting.
Then with my modifier, that is an 18. So yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so you see this thing starting to whirl and try to like tighten around the Dave unit the way it tightened around Havara's neck, and you get on the. It's pretty cinematic. It's like that. It's like some Jason Statham type of stuff. You get on the controls, slam the brakes, causing it to like overcorrect a little bit, and then you start moving like down over the side of her shell. You're still on her shell, by the way, which is pretty cool as well. And you use like some of the terrain on her back to kind of maneuver out of it, managing to avoid the restrain. It is then going to try to strike at you with its tail.
If it's trying to strike at us, then I'm going to warding flare it.
Oh, perfect.
So it's got disadvantage on that attack because if it's trying to hit us, it's within 30 feet.
With the disadvantage, it fails. So that's a good move there. The warding flare goes up. You see it like misjudge where you are, and you see the tail just whoosh, kind of go swinging right in front of the windshield, barely missing you. Orkira, it is then your turn.
This isn't even Kretzala.
I imagine Orkira is like pressed up against the window because she's trying to get as close as possible to everything.
Mhm.
She's like, "Oh, this is really bad." Is a Havara with
It's like the raptor from Jurassic Park, just like blowing steam onto the windshield.
Oh, this
It's
is
funny.
super bad.
I thought the Tyrannosaur when you mentioned her eye coming down to the sub. So we're
Yeah, right.
Jasmine, we're the same
Same
person.
wavelength. I know.
Yeah.
Except this time I'm not going to breathe and pretend to be one of. I don't remember what the dinosaur is that spits into Nedry's face.
Dilophosaurus.
Thank you. Okay. Is a Havara within 30 feet as well?
Yes, you're on her back.
Awesome. Okay, so for my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word because I've got the range to grab her. I'm going to do that at 3rd level, so she gets 12 hit points back.
Okay.
And then I am going to pull out my book and I press the book up against the window and I'm like, get away from her. She's our friend. And I'm going to, as an action, use my channel divinity to do Radiance of the Dawn. And so from the book, this bright light explodes. It's only hostile creatures, so it's only going to attack this thing.
Perfect.
I need it to make a Constitution saving throw DC 14, and if it succeeds, it's still going to take half of this damage.
Okay. Ooh, it does not succeed.
Perfect. Rolled like shit. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's going to take 12 radiant damage. And I don't know if this matters, but any magical darkness within 30 feet is immediately dispelled. But more importantly, this thing is going to take damage and nothing else.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. As this darkness isn't magical. It's like darkness from being underwater. But you still see like a sort of faint light kind of like emanate and then kind of get snuffed out just by the sheer sort of like oppression of how much water you're underneath right now. That you see your light kind of pierce through the creature, blowing off like a chunk of it. It's like almost like a strand of like viscous material flying off. And then it is Alyndra's turn.
All right. I am going to look at this creature that is wrapped around around Dave, and I am going to reach out and stab it in its mind with a mind spike.
Perfect. Nice.
See if I can do a little, and I'll upcast that to 3rd level.
Ooh, all right. Lay the hurt on it.
Yeah, I would like this gone. I don't think we have time for it. So it needs to make a wisdom save of 15.
Okay. It makes it. I got, what is that? That's 18.
All right. Then nothing happens. Oh, no, that's not true.
I was going to say, I think it's still half damage.
It does do damage. It does have damage. And then I do not know. I know its location until as long as it's on the same plane of existence. So 48 of damage. And it does. 27 points of damage as I reach into its brain, and because I now know where it is and I am in its mind, anywhere it goes, I know.
Perfect. Yeah, this hurts it. You see it almost like real, and you hear almost like a high frequency kind of pitch ring out as your mind spike like tears into its consciousness. And then it is Avren's turn.
So, okay, so the imminent threat that's coming at us right now, I'm just going to turn to Orkira. Ooh, look what I can do. And I cast Havara's light on it.
Yeah.
And I put on dark glass goggles beforehand. I'm like, this usually hurts me a lot. Okay, let's try this out. And I just bamf it.
Yeah. A huge orb of light kind of like fills the area. I think it's 60 feet in radius. And hostile creatures caught within it lose their basically like that turn in initiative order. Fortunate for you, it was going to go right after for you. Unfortunate for you, it has multiple turns in the initiative track. Go ahead and roll damage because I believe it has to save or make a Constitution save or take radiant damage. Rolled a 1, so it definitely does not make the Constitution save.
And it's 8 points of radiant damage.
8 points of radiant damage. Perfect. You see it like kind of reel as this like huge orb of light comes and descends down, or like it doesn't even really descend. It almost like starts at a point and then just like opens up like this like big sort of just glowing orb of light. I got you, Jen. That's fine. So that would be almost at the HP left out loud. That would have been bad, I think.
Ooh, Avren, that's really cool. You should do that more often.
No, but I'll teach you how to do it.
Okay, I'd like that too, but no, you should definitely do that more often. That was so
It burns
cool.
on the inside.
Oh, I didn't know you became a
it's a good
cleric
burn.
of light. Wow, Avren, you're so beautiful.
It's like when you eat something spicy and it's just like a nice
I
comfy
feel like
burn.
you're not accepting who I am, Freely.
I mean, you're the one casting out magic light, brother.
Yeah,
I'll
look
cast
how
light
awesome.
inside of you. I swear to God, well, turn Dave right around.
Does
I don't know
Avren's
what-
skin crack even more after this light goes away?
Right? Yeah, he gets like a sunburn from it.
just fried. Just beet red.
So normally this character or this creature would have gone twice, but because you stunned it, it only attacks at you one time. Let's see. I think it's going to try to slam.
And I will warding flare it again since it's been my turn. So
Yes, it
this is a
has.
disadvantage.
Oh, I'm just impressed that you kept track of your reaction, actually, because I'm so bad at that.
Yeah.
I have the one.
With the warding flare, it misses.
Yes.
Then it is Ahavara's turn, and you see her like kind of now she's like, because you've been moving this whole time. Like it's kind of weird the way vectors work because she's been moving forward. Your ball has been moving backwards, and this creature has been following you, but you are still on her back until you choose not to be. So yeah, trench run. And then you see like the barrier is very close to you now. And you see her kind of like press up against it and stick her head out on the other side and then pull it back so that the fabric goes from being this way to being this way. And then you just see her like put her mouth out and go,
Did she magically Mlerp that thing closed just now? Did that just happen?
Does it look like it's sealing?
Does it
let's
taste
see
good?
how successful she is. She's not the greatest with
I
magics that aren't
Wait.
natural.
I believe I have foreseen this moment.
Yes.
I have foreseen this moment, and as we have talked to her and prepared for this and talked her up and encouraged her, given her hope, also with Machete rumbling around her stomach, the added pep talk of that conversation, it's all in her, and our hope and the need of her people means that I have foreseen this with a natural 20 on the die.
Yes. Third one this game.
Yeah.
Technically the first one this game.
Yeah. Those portents. I love it. So you see her like I said, she puts her head through the breach and then pulls it back with a type of sound. It's loud. You can hear it inside the Dave unit. And then you see her just be like, Yoshi style. And when she lets go of the rift or she removes it from her mouth, it's now invisible again. You don't see those frayed threads covering it anymore. And then you see her give it a little extra. Okay. All right, I think I did it.
What did it taste like?
Bubblegum.
All the good things do.
And that is perfect timing at the top of Freely's turn, where we will call it today. That's not a gift. No. Boom.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This session has been ludicrous.
But amazing.
Well, what about this for a title? Turn doll for what?
I'm with it. Let's
I like
support
it.
it. Let's support it.
Just saying, just throwing it out there.
+1.
Just
Plus
the
one.
shame.
Mhm.
Shame. Shame.
I
Mlerp.
support you, Todd. It's okay.
It's just
I'm with
me
you.
wandering the corridors
No,
of
I'm with
D&D naked.
I'm with you on that one, brother. No, I'm coming with you on that one. Like, I mean, I don't back you on a lot of these things, but I'm with you on that one.
I turned all for what?
Mm-hmm.
We're all just looking at Jasmine like,
like all innocent, like for the record, I was totally gonna have her do one of these.
do a
But
little
she
thumb
doesn't.
kiss? Mwah.
Yeah, but she doesn't really have.
No thumbs.
Can she reach her
Yeah.
mouth with her?
Yeah,
She's a goddess. Why not?
Just massages the entire planar universe with her like a
Yeah.
mom and hair.
Yeah, right.
No, the magical mystical Mlerp was definitely the proper solution.
I mean, that can be the other title is Magical Mystical Blurb.
Magical mystical Mlerp.
I mean, you kind of have to click it.
It's true.
You have
Either
to find
way.
out what the yeah.
Either way.
Hopefully Nintendo doesn't DMCA us for the bomb.
Nah. That was parody. It's fine.
Were you a YouTuber 5 years ago? So probably yes.
Right? Yeah. Thank you so much for playing with me in this ludicrous campaign. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. Yeah, let's go around and do some shout outs. Jen, take it away.
I am Jen Kretchmer. I am a writer, performer, actor thing.
All the things.
What do I do? I do the things. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I am the creator of the Accessibility in Gaming resource guide, which you can find in my pinned tweet on Twitter. And that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. You can find me wherever there is a D&D Beyond happening. You can also find me on Thursday. I'm going to be running a game for Jasper's Game Day, the New Year Mentally Healthier You. Jen's going to be in that game. I am excited. That is at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. I do not believe there is anything else going on at the same time. So you should come by. You should watch us play. We're going to play a really fun one-shot. You'll have a chance to win some prizes. You'll be helping raise money for an excellent cause. And you see a whole bunch of awesome people playing D&D for funsies.
Awesome. Meagan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Meagan Kenreck. I hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year and holidays, and I'm happy that we're all on the other side now. I am on Twitter at Meagan Kenreck, as well as Twitch. I'm also upgrading my machine very soon, so I will be streaming a lot more this year. So I'm very excited about that.
Awesome. Hope.
I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at @HopeLaVelle. You can watch me here on Silver and Steel, and you can listen to me play some D&D on Attackers of Opportunity, wherever you can find podcasts.
Fantastic. B. Dave.
B. Dave Walters. I say words about things. We've done a whole bunch of this show. I legit didn't know we had these dope bios that pop up in chat because I usually don't see chat. And I just came to say goodbye to everybody. And the first one popped up, and I'm like, wow, man, like Jen's done a lot of stuff. Hey, whoa, wait, wow. Yeah.
It's like our mods are on top of things and
It's
really awesome.
weird.
Yeah.
Mods.
The year is back in motion, so I'm somewhere doing something almost 7 days a week now. Not 7 days anymore, but practically 7 days a week. Just follow me on the tweetagrams at B. Dave Walters to find out what I'm doing. Also, I'm a purveyor of cursed relics. There, yeah. Also, and if Joe Manganello wants it, he can come and take it from me because it's right over there. Okay. You know where I live, Joe.
$10 on Freely.
Same. Have you seen Freely's traps? They're amazing.
It's true.
I gotta
It's true.
respect trap game.
Just,
Uh,
I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna pop something.
Todd.
I am Todd Kenreck. I am a magical meat popsicle.
Wrong answer.
Yes, you are, honey.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I'm that bronze girl, Jasmine Bhullar. You can find me on Twitter at that bronze girl, basically everywhere at that handle. And I'm a full-time content creator. So yeah, I've been playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon on stream. It has been a blast. And I do a morning talk show where I talk about tabletop RPGs, comics, and honestly, kind of like a little bit of everything. Lauren knows I talk about a little bit about everything.
And you have a fun chat to hang out in with awesome people.
It's true.
Aw, I love you. I always love seeing you in there. But yeah, thank you so much for supporting our show and watching our ridiculous shenanigans. And thank you for always enjoying our whimsical campaign, because this campaign is a little bit more whimsical than it is high fantasy. But I love that all of you in the chat and all of you here playing with me go along with your childlike imaginations every week. Stay safe, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Wear a mask.
Steve.